This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Approaching the New Normal. I know it has been long that we have met, and we there are so many problems in so many ways in which we could not come together. But we have come, and there's another episode. There's a very important topic that we are going to discuss today. So I'll quickly get into it. Um, I'll just introduce myself and let everybody take it over. I'm Priyank. As you all know, I am a PhD scholar at NIPA, and I've been doing research in education for quite some time. And Shadab, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Shadab. I have done my master's from JNU. I am more into research related to education, especially in urban context.
Thank you. Raj?
Well, my name is Raj, and I have completed my graduation and masters in geography, and I have completed my masters from Delhi School of Economics in geography, and currently looking more into geographical and educational context.
Nisha?
Am I audible? Yeah. So I'm Nisha, and at present I'm working with the Directorate of Education as a practitioner psychologist, and I have completed my graduation and masters both in psychology. So I have a experience in this field. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So these are our four panelists for today. We are going to discuss the topic um, career counseling in urban slums specifically. And our guest of today is Mr. Mayank Sharma. He is with the Ministry of Finance and as an assistant section officer. And along with it, he has been career counseling a lot of students from urban slums, and he has worked with different organizations in this area. And I'm glad that Mayank, you are here today and giving us time. Please tell us more about your work and let the audience know what you have been up to and what really made you come into this in this space when you already have a government job, which is considered as something people really opt for, and then just relax in life, not take up more opportunities.
Thank you so much, Priyank. Thank you everyone for welcoming me for this session. Basically, this journey starts from around 10 years back. So I've been working with the government sector, and somewhere getting into government sector is considered as a privilege in today's society. So there used to be a lot of discussion happening with the parents, with the students, regarding what kind of career choices they can have, what can they do. So you will meet so many parents who are worried about their children, that what kind of future they can have, how can they prepare, what kind of strategy they should have, what are their strengths. So this kind of discussion used to happen a lot. So somewhere I started being part of the discussion, and there used to be so many people from students from uh, high-end backgrounds to marginalized backgrounds, and everyone used to have a different set of challenge. Everyone used to have like different kind of opportunities with them. So after having so many discussion with this, suddenly this thought came to my mind, especially when I took sessions with students in a government school, actually, Delhi government school. So that student, though bright, approached me that he wants to prepare for civil services. And the problem, apart from family, and of course, he was going through poverty and so many issues in personal life, I found a different kind of zeal with the person actually, and he was very sure what he wanted to do. The problem was he was facing a crunch of guidance and counseling. So we had a lot of discussion regarding what kind of things he can do, what kind of achievements he can go for. I decided that after having discussed the same thing about career, about opportunities, about aspirations, about about capacities, capabilities. Why can't we have more? No, why can't we take these questions and help students provide answers? So it started off an idea. Around in 2015, I started taking seminars with many students, and we used to invite students from mostly from marginalized sections. Okay, so and one more thing, I had a lot of one-to-one discussion with the students. So it was not about a 1 hour kind of workshop or seminar with the students. Later on, like some of my students have with me for around 5 to 7 years also. So it's a long-term association, and in this long-term association, I learned a lot about the student need. It's just not about the academic preparation, academic support. It's also about the what kind of psychological strength they need, what kind of family support they need to have the kind of achievements in their life. So with this idea, I started working, and many people started joining, and we founded our organizations also. And I am with uh, two major organizations, and I am with volunteer with many other organizations also. So upon discussion, even the people who are heading different organizations, they were inviting for their children, their cousins, okay, their relatives to have discussions with us about what kind of opportunities have. So we started uh, the one from one small conversation. Now we have over 50 experts from different who are like they have achieved like they are CA professionals, they are lawyers. So they are different people from different backgrounds. Okay, so they themselves have achieved so much in their lives. So uh, we are providing support by one-to-one counseling, by expert advice, and by psychometric support and career counseling support. So we again we apart from this we have been invited by many schools also, and we have worked with them also. So it's like it's in the past 10 years from one student to like we have taught today more than 5,000 students. Okay, so the motivation came from that, and while having more and more of these discussion with the students, we started to understand the needs, and people started to approach us for helping.
Right. Thank you, Mayank, for sharing with us. Shadab has extensive experience in urban marginalization, and I think he would have a lot of questions specifically about the context, like when you have worked in urban slums. So if you could share a bit about that, and then I'll let Shadab take over and ask what questions he has.
Hello.
Yeah, Shadab.
Hmm. So basically, I started my uh, work in slums of Patna in 2020. Basically, I was in the field pre-COVID. That was the pre-COVID when I returned from the field and COVID started. And later on, again, I went to the field for 6 months in the slums of Patna. So what I have found that that what Mayank was talking about, that there is a zeal among the students, among the parents about education, career, and high aspirations they have. But what they are lacking, that they when the people like us, that the researcher going into the field, so they admire us and they believe that they have an aspiration that someday our children will be like them only. But the question is that they are so much into the vicious cycle of their day-to-day struggles, that they, though they have aspirations, but they lack some kind of uh, basic understanding. But when Mayank is talking about career counseling, so if the student, the children are able to uh, mm, get certain level of education, then this career counseling is going to happen. So I just want to know about that. Apart from career counseling, that is very, very important intervention, what kind of other experiences he had in terms of primary education and the secondary education?
So I will tell you my experience, especially in the primary education. So we worked in Madhya Pradesh actually. There is one Panna district. So as far as it is concerned, socially and economically, it's one of the most backward areas of India. So when the need of student is considered, the problem we had while we were I was helping one of the organizations to set up schools. The problem we had, we didn't have teachers to teach who were adequately qualified. The consider the same scenario like in a metro city. Here the challenge is different. Here you have certain level of exposure towards education, but even in these areas, like when I visited certain school, government schools, so one student was in fifth standard. So I just asked him to just say the normal alphabets. He didn't even know the A to Z also. The problem is the complete education system, especially uh, the whole the student teacher method is completely absent in the backward area. So one of the big problem is we don't have adequately qualified teachers down the lane, especially in rural, most backward areas. Okay.
Right. Nisha has been
So
working with.
when primary, one more thing I would like to add, when primary education is again concerned, the students require is not about the learning the alphabets. You need to have the patience, you need to have understanding, you need to have the knowledge of psychometry associated with the students. In foreign universities, foreign schools, especially in US countries like USA, you have a set of counselors for the primary kids just to understand their psychology, help them to do good in their day-to-day work. So the consider the scenario here in rural areas, the whole system is absent. It's not just about the teachers. The whole system is absent, and there is lot of work which can be done um, at the grassroots level.
Right. Nisha has been working with kids from in urban areas where kids from low, humble socioeconomic backgrounds, and she has been counseling them, and she has faced some very similar issues. So Nisha, if we could have 2 cents about this and tell us what if you have questions.
Hello, everyone, first of all. Yes, I would like to share some experience, and I would like to know the Mayank's experience also regarding career counseling in slums area. That what I experienced, children coming from such kind of background, they struggle with their like dreams and their real existence into this real world, because in reality they deal with lots of struggle, as Shadab shared with us. They come from a kind of background where they struggle for uh, daily small small things. So जब वो and they also do have very less exposure to the new careers existing in our world. They just are limited to few ones. So when I interact with them and I talk about new career existence and new career opportunities, so I experience some fear, some threat in them. Ki, okay, what if what we will do there? How we will cope there? And how even we can enter into such kind of careers. So they're very limited to that their exposure, and plus they also have the questions that, ma'am, what if we will do enter into such kind of career? So we have to put lots of money and lots of time, but we don't have that much, no, not time, because we have responsibilities to complete complete in our family, and we don't have that much financial background to spend on such kind of career. So these like problems I face, so I deal with them accordingly. So I would like to know your experience, Mayank, in this. How you deal with such kind of things.
So, like, there is again, I will tell you one of the students, he was very interested in computer application. So he wanted to pursue computer science, but he had a very humble origin, and to get into IIT was next to impossible again. And even his marks also less that even the basic general courses, the current scenario in Delhi University and university, the cutoff is very high, even for the general courses now. So, and he had scored very less actually. Okay. So while having discussion with him, he called me and he requested a guidance regarding this. So we found one person who is a professor in, I think, Delhi University. I don't remember the college, in Delhi University, and he is a senior professor there and from computer science. So while having discussion, what we found was, you know, uh, computer science taking it as a profession, going through IIT is going through different the traditional channels is one thing, but there are so many certifications available. Okay, and the certifications are very low cost, and of course, I'm not talking about someone who is having some kind of like 1 crore or 50 lakhs of package. Okay, but of course, you can enter this domain by using this simple certifications also. So we helped that person, and he was able to enter. No, I'm not talking about TCS or Infosys, but a company where uh, it was kind of startup actually. So he got a break. So somewhere when we talk about choices, or like I was having a discussion with a student. He comes from a very rich family actually. Okay. Now again, he didn't want to pursue the traditional family business. So when I went to his house, he had invited me, and we were having discussion. His complete family was there, even his grandfather, grandmother, everyone was there. We were having discussion about the choice. So while having discussion, I found that he was more inclined toward development sector. So when I had a discussion with him and with the family, and I told them about the what are kind of opportunities, like about IRMA, right? So there is Institute of Rural Management, uh, where again you have the management as well as the exposure to the development sector. So people who are passed out from IRMA are doing very good. Even it's not about doing general MBA for the rural sector. Okay, so these kinds of alternate thinkings you have to develop, and you have to discuss things not only with the students but with the parents, or whomever the person who is influencing, okay, has the influence on the student. So different scenarios require different kind of work, different kind of understanding, and different paths are available. So you have to put in front of them different choices. Okay, so that person, he is currently looking for his IRMA, and he is very much happy about that, and his family is also supporting. Again, the other person, though he is currently at a bit of humble beginning, but we are sure that within time, it might take 3 years, 4 years, sometimes 5 years also. But like you say, MBA doesn't matter. Down the lane after 5 years, generally it's a very big single corporate actually. Down the lane after 5 years, all are same. So down the lane after 5 years, if you are working hard and you have the basic knowledge and the G, definitely you can do it.
Thank you. And just let Raj take over. Raj has, as a geographer, he has seen, how geography really plays a role, and also he has a lot of experience looking at ICT technology in education. So if he has something to ask.
So, as Mank was saying, in relation with career counseling, and what I would like to include, or moreover talk about in geographical aspect is like we could see another aspect in relation with how this pattern changes within the regional space. So what if this is much prevalent as we know it in urban centers? What and as Menk was also saying, like it has been much prevalent nowadays within the rural framework as well. And he's already engaged, like he was explaining his experience with mm, Madhya Pradesh. So, is it really mm, remaining just a phenomena of a urban space, or and it's more of a like it's going deep into rural space as well? And so, how do we really deal with like these students that needs career counseling and among who are prevalent in urban spaces and who are prevalent in rural spaces? What difference do you come up? Do you really have come up in urban centers and in rural centers?
So as I stated before that about first the education and the teacher support is okay. So again you talk about, I will tell you about, forget about going to rural. I will tell you about, there is one Delhi mentorship program is going on, right? So I was one of the mentors there, and after taking a session, few of the students approached me. So after having discussion, I told them to do bachelor courses. The thing was, these students, they didn't even know something called bachelor's existed. Okay, now everyone will be shocked, right? You know, bachelor of science, you know, bachelor of arts, right? And there are so many streams running down. Okay, you do BA pole science history, you do BSc physics chemistry, whatever you want to do, right? So, but again, I will again say that the knowledge and exposure about the choices, right? When you talk about rural setup, you have limited resources. Someone who wants to come up will have to struggle, will need more support and long-term support. Okay, like I will tell you one thing. I helped one of the students regarding the scholarship aspect. He was from rural setup, very good in studies, but the problem was again, to pursue higher studies, he needed the right kind of fund. Okay, so we had a lot of discussion, and I invited some of the people who are into this. Okay, and who really helped in the who could really help him in the application part. So the the thing is, when we talk about rural, apart from the teachers, the support, the long-term support is required. You need to do much more hand holding. One of the teachers in MP asked me that I want to improve my English. Okay, so what kind of thing I can do? What kind of approach I should have? Okay, what kind of books I should read? I just suggested her one thing, like what kind of resources she can afford actually. So she didn't have money, but we can just suggest one thing, like 5 rupee newspaper is just 5 rupee. Okay, that's 150 per month. Even if a student or if a person who wants to have a certain kind of proficiency in English language, and 150 is quite affordable to everyone, right? Even if not 150, even for 10 days, if he or she reads a newspaper, again, that can help him or her in improving her proficiency. So the approach in rural sector, the approach in urban sector is more about resource oriented. What kind of resource the person sitting in the rural sector can afford? What kind of resource the person sitting in the urban sector can afford? I have met people who are in the rural areas, but they are like billionaire kind of thing. Okay, but they themselves are facing the problem with their children that in their vicinity, not in 10, 50, 20, 30 kilometers, in 100 kilometers itself, they cannot provide quality education to their children. So they will need to send their children to the metro cities. So if uh, the challenge is again is here, a school I can definitely say one thing, that we had started, of course, there was some issue due to COVID, but a small school with basic facilities can be easily set up. We have worked on the model, we have the model with us, and we help people also regarding this. And the students there, they can be really help as far as academics is concerned, as far as even for the primary FLN is concerned, they can really help and they can be provided long-term support. Okay. So again, coming back to rural and urban debate, rural, the basic foundation is not at all there. You need to put in all kinds of resources and you need to put in a long-term strategy there. And you need to put in long-term work efforts there to have the output. And you need to have, like, when we were working, we asked the teachers to use a certain books. Okay. The problem with the teachers were, forget about students, the teachers themselves were not able to understand what were there, the mathematics, the English. They were facing problems. Okay. So again, we tried to search in the market, and though we got those books which were a bit less heavy on curriculum part, more on interactive part. So you can have students and even the teachers, you can help them by having the prototypes, by having the right kind of experiments, okay, right kind of practical learning there. So they will be able to relate with more practical learning rather than the textbook style. Okay. So you need to have more science labs, experiments with the student to make them understand fast the concept fast. Okay. Now consider the same scenario with someone who is in urban area, the student in the urban area. Again, here the practical learning is of course important, but the level of understanding is pretty much fast. Okay. These approaches can help.
I'm sure we only wanted to do a 30-minute thing, so I think we are running short of time. But I'll just ask one last thing. If Mayank, you can take just 1 minute and tell us, how do you think technology can play a role in this?
So someone today, people are sitting in rural areas and they are working with the TCS and the big MNCs, and they are working from home, doing work from home. So technology can make things accessible, right? If you want to learn certain course, there are many YouTube channels which are providing very good content. There are many groups, communities which are providing resources. So technology can play a very big role. Of course, you have to just give them the idea of what kind of resource they can access. So because technology again gives so many options. Suppose you want to learn a grammar on YouTube. Again, there are so many options. So if you have some verified resources, or if you have some kind of knowledge or skill, you can again put it on the YouTube or any social media channel, and you can share with the students in rural areas. Then, yeah, so that's it.
Thank you so much,
And
Mayank.
I would like to add to Mayank, like there are additional, I guess there are many more government websites which provide, I guess, officially
Yes, right.
many courses,
Many courses
which
are there, and you have many certified courses also. Even in the skill development, government is providing many online courses, and they are,
exactly.
almost very low cost actually. So again, this can help. Even it's for all the sectors. Okay, even for handicrafts also there is certain course. So this can help. Only thing is you have to tell them certain kind of course exists. If you have an interest, certain kind of course exists, and you can work on this. You can have the skill, and you can enter the industry.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mayank. And I know there will be a lot more suggestion, comments, discussion, questions, everyone, still having, but we are kind of out of time. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Thank you. We'll see you all again soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.